know where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys, Joe, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because he's done on the warfare.
Chief Concerns is presented by BetOnline and Olipop. Marcus Dash here from Chief Concerns, and ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the year. It's football season, and you know what that means? It means it's time to get in on BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our 150 slot games. Head to the website today and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here. Come on, baby. Go. 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 Yes. That's a first down. That's a first down. That's a first down. This football season, I'll be putting down normal sodas like Coca-Cola for Olipop. Olipop offers a healthier alternative with its low sugar content and natural ingredients. Olipop is more than just a drink. It's a wellness companion that supports your digestive health. Packed with prebiotics, this fizzy elixir helps promote good bacteria in your gut, leading to improved digestion and overall well-being. So go ahead, click the link in the description and use promo code SODALOVE and get your can of Olipop so you can enjoy the game guilt-free. Go Chiefs. Use the promo code SODALOVE for 15% off now. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Cash and Props with Dunn and Dash. Right now, you only see 2 dashes right now. JD, Dash and Dash right now. Cash and Dash.
Yeah,
Cash Dash. We're not done yet. But yeah, JD may be coming on. I don't know. Hopefully he'll be coming on in a little bit. I haven't heard from him today, so we'll see. He might come on. He might surprise us. JD likes it. JD likes it sometimes. Like Sting from the Raptors come down.
Yeah, it's the pop in.
Yeah, the pop in, the alley pop in. The pop in. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people in the chat. So we got Martin Moore, Harama Biff, Chief First 65 TPT, Kathy Welch. How you doing, Kathy? Mike Brennan, my guy, Florida KC Chiefs fan. Lewis Cuthbert, Jubal Ray. Okay, yeah, we got a lot of people in the chat. Obviously, yeah, some of you who maybe knew this last week, we had our show. We did the betting show on our Chief Concerns Wednesday show. We usually don't do that during the regular season when it's normal games on Sundays or Monday. We do our betting show Friday nights, and that's where you can find us 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube for our betting show, which is Cash and Props with Dunn and Dash times 2. But yeah, seeing some, obviously, we're talking betting tonight, and we will get into our bets, looking back from last week and looking what we got this week. But guys, I got to say, the Hollywood Brown stuff, devastating. My question is, and obviously they thought he was getting the other day, I think Reed said he's doing better. Right. And then all of a sudden, he's not doing better. I mean, why couldn't we just jump in the surgery weeks ago? And I'm working on it right now to have Dr. David Chow come on our channel next week to talk about this injury. A little bit more educated than all of us are when it comes to these types of things. So Dr. David Chow, you've seen as the Twitter doc, former Chargers doctor. We had him on the show 2 years ago about Justin Ross's injury. So yeah, he'll be coming on to talk. And can't wait for that.
Ask him why we would wait for surgery too.
Yeah, that's a good question because I remember Tyreek Hill avoided the surgery when we had him, and that was kind of the thing. He only missed 3 weeks, and we were lucky at first that was the case with Hollywood Brown. But I guess now they're talking months too. I've seen some they're saying he might miss the whole season.
That's probably why they hold off on the surgeries. Once you get the surgery, it's okay, you corrected it by going in there. Now you need to wait and actually heal.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why they try to avoid it because it's worth it. Think about it. Like if you're like this happened in what, like mid-August, so almost like a month ago.
Yeah,
so almost like a month ago. So they were like, okay, he should be fine like 3 to 5 weeks. That was around Tyreek Hill, and that was a bad one too. They said so. It's worth it to wait to not get the surgery if surgery keeps you out for 2 to 3 months, right? So it's like if they would have gotten the surgery right away, then 3 months from then, we're still looking at most of the season. So I see why they waited because they thought he would just heal within a month, but it wasn't doing any progress, and it sucks.
Yeah, well, and my thing is, and I'm seeing you guys talk about who do you think's going to get pulled up this week with this whole going on IR, so we get an extra guy to come up. I've seen some people say, I've seen Kathy saying maybe Hendershot gets the call. I think that does make the most sense. I mean, it's the guy they traded for, and he's already and I love the guy. He hasn't played in a game yet, and I already love the dude. I mean, freaking giving Roquan a little shoulder on the sideline there. You gotta love that. It was feisty. But yeah, obviously, you know, I'm a Justin Ross guy, so give me some Ross. I'd be happy when Ross gets pulled up, but I think they would go tight end. I mean, they traded for him. I mean, I have to imagine they would go with him, right? If you had to place your money on it, who would it be as far as if they were going to pull up somebody else?
Oh, man.
Because as of right now, we barely use our receivers that we had playing last week. I mean,
I know, and Worthy looked like a good short-term, well, not really short-term anymore, but a good Hollywood replacement for what we want.
Right.
Like you're missing like a deep threat, right? I would say, yeah, maybe Hendershot, but you also got to look at targets, like he just said too, right? So that's a good question. One is who's going to be pulled up, but who gets pulled up is not going to soak up those targets. So who's going to be the biggest beneficiary of those targets? Probably just Worthy would be the obvious answer.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, we had Sky Moore, and he got like 8 reps last week on offense. So, like, I mean, there are receivers who are out there who are only getting like reps during the game. So, man, I don't know. Is that they may go in a different direction, go in a different position, get more depth at another spot?
The scariest thing is that we went from like deeper receiver to like pretty like
no.
We're dead even now. We can't afford to lose somebody now. Losing someone would hurt now.
I mean,
if Worthy or Rice went down, we're back to last season, dude.
Yes. Yeah. No, I agree with that.
I mean, if Worthy went down and he was knocking on wood,
and I would say generally though, at the top of the most teams at the top of the receiver room, because you're talking. I mean, right now Worthy's our number 2. We're going Rice and Worthy right off the bat. If one of those guys gets knocked down, yes. But if like Juju gets hurt, or Hardman gets hurt, Watson gets hurt, I'm okay with that. It's the top. It's the top. I don't want anything to happen with
that. Yeah. I mean, top on any team hurts, right? But like, yeah, if Worthy went down, we're actually down worse than last season because, I mean, not to say like, you know, he was a huge impact for us, but we don't have Tony either. So
yeah,
that's minus 2 guys from last year. So like,
yeah,
I know, but that's one less guy to have defenses account for. I assume defenses were accounting for Tony on the field.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's rough.
Give Ross some reps from Montreal. Montreal Washington, yeah. I'm a big Montreal guy. He had some in the special teams aspect. I mean, so did Ross. Ross is giving a little bit of that too. So, yeah. Come on, Haram. Come on. You know better to talk politics on this chat. It's Chiefs talk, baby. We're not talking politics. I love you, buddy. We're not talking politics. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, that's a good one. That's a good name. I know JD's a huge Hunter Renfrow fan. I mean, he's still available. If need be, that could be something.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. He's not.
It's wild. I don't understand. I don't get it.
Yeah, I know. How do you go from getting like a really good contract just not being – it's not like he's old, right? What's he, like 25, 26? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Love you too, buddy. Love you too, buddy. Okay, so – yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully everyone stays healthy. Hopefully the Xavier Worthy hamstring injuries are done. We don't hear about those anymore because, yeah, that would be not good. And also, too, this is something – if he doesn't – let's say he doesn't play till like week 14, talking about Hollywood Brown like later on in the season. Mm-hmm. He signed it, and that's the beauty of having incentive-laden deals because he's not going to hit any of those incentives anymore. Unless he comes back, unless he comes in week 12 and like it catches like it has like a 5 straight 100-yard games, he's not going to get that anymore. So at least that's why you do those type of deals. But I will say this: Mahomes and him really clicked with each other. He liked what he was getting at with us. He signed that deal in the first place for a reason. I think we're going to get him at a bargain next year. I think he's going to sign a 1-year, $3 million deal.
He's got to do another prove-it year unless he kills it in the playoffs.
Yes.
Guys can make contracts based off playoff play.
That's true. That's true. I mean, he signed with us for a reason, and they clicked, man. It's unfortunate, too. Like, forget fantasy, forget all these other things. I was genuinely excited about Hollywood Brown in our offense. I've always been a Hollywood Brown fan. The one thing about him was injuries. But it was always ankle or toe injuries. It was never I mean, this injury is a rare injury, so it's unfortunate. I was really looking forward to seeing how he looked in our offense.
Was that his first and only catch with us, too?
Dude, that was the first target of Mahomes' preseason, and it went to him. He caught it. Could you imagine
luck, man.
Imagine what kind of year he was going to have. His first pass goes to Hollywood Brown. He gets hurt.
Terrible luck. First tackle, first pass. You're out for 3 months.
Yeah.
Well, more than that, too, because he missed a month already. So really, he'll be out for 4 months.
Yeah. That's terrible, man. Hopefully, I mean, obviously, when they do these things, they always go with like the worst possible case scenario. Hopefully, it's on the lesser side of that. But I mean, we're gonna talk to Dr. Chow next week on the show, and hopefully, he can give us some. But based on his tweets, doesn't sound good. He's aiming for the worst part of things. But hopefully, we can try to talk him down because I mean, he did give me a when we had him on the show like 2 years ago about Ross. He said he didn't know if Ross was ever gonna play, and lo and behold, Ross has played. But yeah, it really does suck losing Hollywood Brown. I have a Hollywood Brown jersey for a potential giveaway. So I don't know. See, 0 for 2 on the jerseys. By the way, I bought an LRZ jersey and I gave that away. I sent that out to our guy Randy Connolly, who won a giveaway last week. And I also bought a Hollywood Brown jersey as a giveaway. LRZ is not on our team anymore. Hollywood Brown might not play this season.
We have the Madden curse, and then we have the Marcus Jersey curse.
Yes, we do. And that's not good. That's not good so far, at least. But nonetheless, all right. So, guys, we're gonna get to the betting aspect of things. So, get your notepads out. Get your notepads, everybody. Get the pen. Let's get to work here. We're gonna make some money this week. I'll say this too. So, we're talking money making. We're gonna go with last week. I want to say this: college football. I know it's that Chiefs show. College football last week. Last Saturday, I made like $40 worth of bets. I won $2,200 in college football. It's not a college football show, but I just want to say that. So, yes, I went 3 of 5 in our props last week, but I did well with college football last week. So, very happy about that. So, yeah, we're going to get into our bets right now. Yeah, you know what, Mike? A Zappy jersey might be fun. That might be a fun one. That might be a good jersey. Yeah, McCaffrey might go to IR. Yeah, I mean, there's so many injuries already happening right now. McCaffrey might go to IR, which is the biggest one. So, yes, we're lucky in the sense that Hollywood Brown didn't even play for us, and he went to IR, but, like, McCaffrey, that is their offense. They live and die by that guy. I will say, though, Mason looked pretty good on Monday for them, so it seems like it's a more of a system kind of deal in San Francisco. But okay, so we're gonna go to Jubal. I already got him a Mahomes jersey, so we're past that. I guess it's my curse of 2024 doing that.
Yeah, there you go.
It's my 2024 curse of buying jerseys.
It's new incoming players.
Exactly. Okay, so going back to week 1, so Teja and I both had our bets kind of get ruined by somewhat. Teja went 4-5 last week. Derrick Henry not getting that 15th carry. That was what did him in. And then mine.
I can't believe out of all the bets, that's the one that didn't hit. He had like 7 carries on the first drive.
It's part of the reason why they lost, man. I mean,
yeah,
they abandoned the run game. Well, they abandoned the running back game. They ran with their quarterback all game long, and I don't know how long that's going to last for them because that's just it's not a sustainable thing. I mean, he was already taking practice off this week because he was sore from the Thursday night game last week. That's scary, and I mean, good luck to them. But yeah, I went 3 for 5. Hit the Chiefs money line, hit Pacheco 75 rushing and receiving. Kelsey, nope. So we saw that, and then Pacheco. Nope, on 2.5 catches. He had a catch in the first drive of the game. He had 1 more catch after that. Didn't get 3, though. And then Rashee Rice, who easily got that thing. Easily got 6 catches.
I got it.
Okay. JD might be coming on here shortly, I think. I think he forgot that we usually do our the betting show is always at 7 o'clock. I think he forgot that that's what we did. But he'll be coming on here soon, momentarily. But yeah, you know, we both came pretty close. It's a combined 7 of 10 last week. Not bad.
I hit my 2 other cheap parlays, so overall I did pretty good. I did like 13 or 14, but this one, man, I can't believe Henry. Wow, I'm so upset about that.
Yeah, I mean, Baltimore fans are pretty mad about that as well. Sorry, guys. Responding back to JD real quick.
The one I nailed easily, I knew Mahomes was not going to run last week. I took his under. It was, I think it was like 21 rushing yards. I knew he was not going to run. So
he didn't need to. He didn't need to, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which tells you what kind of weapons we have and that he doesn't need to do the extra crap like he did last year.
Yep.
But okay. I think JD's going to get in here in a second, so I want to wait a little bit before we get to your bet, Teja.
Sure.
I think he might be coming on. Wishy Hall, I told you Spags had Henry's number, Teja.
Yeah. I mean, but I wasn't going for his stats, though. I just 15 carries. I didn't even need the numbers. I just figured, I'll say this, not that he was going to go to overtime. He was going to go for 2 anyway. But if they went to overtime, he would have gotten that over. But I'm glad we didn't. See, I am a fan over the betting. I choose heart over the head, right? Not always the best for financial, but for being a fan, I'm sticking with that. So I'm glad we didn't go to overtime. Not that we would have again, because he would have kicked he would have gone for 2. But I'll take the win, get out of there cleanly, forget the Henry over under. But yeah, in my other one, I took Justice Hill over in catches and yards. That was an easy one. Flowers and catches. I knew he was just going to dink and dunk. I think that's just dink and dunk guy all day is Flowers. We talked about Gray beforehand because that new contract.
And that was
and he hit it. I think Gray might be good for 2 to 3 catches every game. I haven't checked his line for this week yet, but I think he might be good for that every game.
Last it was like over 1.5 catches and it was like 10.5 yards, I believe.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you could parlay those because if he gets 2 catches, he's getting over 10 yards.
Yeah,
so
but they don't really boost it that much anyway, so it's not honestly not even that not smart to do that. But okay, I've seen some good ones in here. We got our guy Mike Brandon with the Samaj AP Ryan. Anytime touchdown. I like that as a little sprinkle. I don't know if I'm going to come out of the gate with the Samaj AP Ryan touchdown, but yeah, I like that. I mean, hey, I think he's having a good game. I didn't see any of his props. The only props I saw on DraftKings was his touchdown bet. I didn't see the old yeah, I didn't see the what do you call it? Any catches or anything. I think over 1.5 catches. I think pretty solid for him.
Yeah.
Mike Brennan again. Any catch the Humphrey podcast talking about who's fast worthy is on how fast worthy is on the field. I did not see that. I have not seen that. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine the guy's fast as heck. Are you kidding me? Gary Holland, issue concerns JD and Marcus. Okay, what's up?
Rasheed Rice almost hit his on the first drive. Remember, I think he had like 4 catches on that first drive.
Yeah, it literally looked like that first drive in Detroit in the preseason game.
I know.
I got flashbacks there right away when I saw that. I was like, okay, well, that's the reason why I'm taking his catches here. And I will say we'll get into his catches, but they didn't change his set number. It's the same number as it was last week, which was interesting to say the least.
It is interesting.
Yeah,
it's going to play in a little bit to one of my bets.
Ooh, okay. All right, so we'll tell you. You'll begin with your bets here, and then when JD pops on, perfect timing. There's the man.
What's up, man? God, shoot, I thought we were supposed to be on at 8.
I went by our schedule from last year. We had 7 betting show on Friday nights because of a high school football.
Okay, all right. My grandson just left, so it was good because I told him we weren't supposed to be on till 8 o'clock anyway. So he just left. So and look, when he's here, I don't check my phone. My phone that's off to the side. So
that's good. There you go.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, he gets priority over anything.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
Everyone else, they get the phone in the done.
Yeah, that's it. So
he's out, and this comes up.
That's exactly what happened. So I'm looking at it sitting. I'm like, what's going on? Like JD, you popping on? I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Popping on to what? So that's all right. That's good. What we got going on, man? What we looking at?
We're just doing a recap, and I'm about to get started on the
Yeah, we're doing just recaps in last week's bets, and we talked about the Hollywood Brown stuff for a little bit. We did want to get your before we get into the bets. I did want to talk to you about that a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, JD, it was obviously we were excited about Hollywood Brown coming to Kansas City, and this injury we thought it was possibly coming back this week, possibly coming back next week, and now we might not see him till the end of the season. I mean, I think it's weird to me how from one day to the next Reed goes, he's coming back soon. He's close. Then all of a sudden he goes from close to not weeks to months out. I mean, the whole thing's just it stinks. So something stinks in suburbia, JD.
Yeah. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But here, my assessment of everything is if this was going to be a thing, okay, I have never heard of a guy letting things heal and it didn't heal correctly and then going and having surgery. If that was all about that, then they should have went ahead and had surgery, right then, initially. So I don't know if they thought like, hey, this thing's going to heal on its own. So I don't know as far as like the basis of it. So I'm going back through how we would do, right? So when they would check mine, it always like raise your shoulder and they'll check the capsule. That's the area right here where they would just check to see if it was too loose, okay? If there was any type of restriction, if you had pain in that area, just raising your arm, that was kind of always like the measure. That's how when they do the diagnosis of everything. And so, the doctors are there 3 times a week. So I don't know if they were just wishful thinking. Last couple of weeks, like, hey, it's just, is it going the right direction? Because it would seem like you would know this at about the first couple of weeks, right?
That's true.
Yeah, like, because the pain starts to dissipate. You'll start, you start getting your range of motion back up. Still like kind of there, right? I'm just going through my memory of it, and maybe a couple other guys that might have done it, but I have never heard anybody going in and saying, hey, now we got to have surgery because it didn't heal correctly. Now we know when you hear bones and stuff like, oh man, the bone didn't heal correctly, so you might have to do something different. So this may be it. This may be what's going on. But as far as I'm sure they were optimistic. I just, now at this moment, you're looking at probably 2 months or better. So I don't know. And it all depends on the severity of it. So that makes me wonder, like, how severe was the injury in itself? Okay. So he didn't have surgery. He stays overnight, comes back to Kansas City. I don't know, man. Maybe it was just bad luck. Maybe it was bad luck. So,
yeah, it's unfortunate. And I'll say this too. I mean, obviously, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, or in this situation at least. But I will say this: this is 2 things where the Burkholder and the staff have kind of come under fire this week. And this we didn't talk about this on Wednesday, JD. But Van Noy talked about his his gripe with our medical staff. Van Noy, who suffered a fractured orbital bone on Thursday, said, quote, "They took an entire quarter to get down to talk to me in the locker room, which to me is unacceptable. As a player, people have that expectation of you being a professional, handling business, and in a time of need. I wanted that from them, and I felt like I didn't get that." When you get injured in an opposing team's, I mean, I'm assuming you have, JD, we've had to work with the opposing team's docs. What is the expectation of that when that happens?
I mean, what they do is they pretty much kind of, if it's x-rays and all those different things, they give you the facility. They let you do whatever you need to do. And of course, if it's a collaboration between our doctors and their doctors, then they'll talk, of course, because they want all the guys to be. It's not like, okay, well, he's a Kansas City guy. No, they want all the guys to be, to come out, well. So I don't know as far as like, Van Noy, and I had this too. I fractured my orbital bone, but it was in Kansas City. And so I don't think we really knew mine until after the game was over. because I had like blood all in my eye and stuff. And so what the crazy part about that, now here's the thing, and I get what he's saying. So not to think it's an emergency, it is. Because they were sitting there saying, like, look, man, like you can, like, part of that can come through like the crack. The orbital bone is it's a part that if part of it is I guess, I don't want to say the meat or whatever part of your eye is coming out of it, then they had to have surgery immediately. But mine, hell, I remember when it happened too. I remember the play. I knew exactly what happened. Who's that sucker that's with AJ Hawk? I hit him blocking against Green Bay, and he came in and his shoulder pad got through my face mask. And it hit this, but man, when I'm telling you, like, it hurt. I mean, I had my eyes were just, bloodshot. That's what happened, bloodshot. But they were saying, like, that part of the meat, man, it was just like, look, we need to get an ophthalmologist down here. The thing was, I don't know, as far as like having an ophthalmologist on staff, you don't have a specialist on staff, right? You just have medical. So if there was one thing that they saw, if it was like they diagnosed it was like, hey, man, let's get a check, because they will give an x-ray. They have x-ray and all that stuff there at the facility. And if they thought it was, to that degree, they would have sent him off. They would have sent him to the hospital. So I don't know. Van Noy, it's kind of different. His perspective, because it is Kansas City.
I'm sure it also hurt a lot too. So it seems like you're waiting a lot longer when you're in pain like that, right?
Yes, and I'm telling you, it's painful. And when I'm painful, I'm like, yo, like your whole side of the face feel is falling off.
Yeah, because it's pushing all the nerves around here, so you probably feel like everywhere in your face. Probably.
Oh yeah. Every bit of it.
Were they worried about a retinal detachment? Is that what it was?
Retinal detachment, the vision, because you could go blind not getting it. That's the thing about it. So like I said, the surgery, depending on like they said the space in there, I think is like where the determining factor. But I don't know as far as like what the trainers are going to do. They can't. What are they going to put ice on it? That's about it.
They're going to do what the elementary school nurses do: give you like a frozen sponge for an ice pack.
Right. So
there you go.
Yeah. What you want this training staff to do? Kiss you? You know, kiss it to make it better? That ain't gonna happen. Yeah. Yeah. So I know that pain. I know he was in pain. So I understand what he's talking about, feeling like he should have been attended to faster than what he was. But I'm sure the medical staff was on it. And the thing is, when the medical staff his guys are gonna be there too. There's gonna be somebody over there with him that's communicating with the doctors if the doctor's not out there. That's why they take at least 4 or 5 doctors, 4 or 5 doctors on the sideline. So they'll have at least one probably in there, and they got walkies and everything. So they're talking, and they got training staff that's all there too. So yeah, he might just felt like it wasn't attended to like he wanted, but I don't know what else you're going to do.
Well, it's easy to get annoyed.
Oh yeah. He's making it sound like he's like down there by himself. No one's around. He was like he's sitting there alone, like holding his eye. Like you're saying, he has his own staff around him. I mean, so
they will leave.
He got hurt in that quarter. Was it like late in the quarter? It was early, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Sure. So away game when I dislocated my elbow. All right. We went into, this is in Jacksonville. So I'm giving that scenario. So when I came in, our doctor was there, their doctor was there, and we were talking about, obviously the timing of getting everything in place was paramount. And so they wanted to go in and get x-rays. So I immediately went in and got x-rays and all those different things. Right. But I remember that when all the doctors felt like I was stabilized, like everything was fine. There's not much more you can do because they had to wrap it all up. I had this great big old bandage. I mean, it hurt. I had 2 or 3 of them. I had to hold it up. And then I just stayed in there like maybe with one trainer. And it was kind of lonely. It was a trainer, it was just trainer and me. And I was just sitting there and I could hear, the crazy part is you hear the crowd and everybody and all that, right? And you just in the locker room. You just in the training room listening to everything go on. It's something, they have the TV up. You could kind of watch it, man. But But it is kind of that lonely feeling because you can't do anything. You want to be out there playing, obviously, but you can't. There's nothing you can do.
Man.
They also noted it was moderate for him. So it's like, I know it can be dangerous, but that's probably something they look at right away, right? So maybe they told our staff, hey, it's moderate. And they're like, okay, we don't mean like we can't do anything for him then. So it's like, well, if it's an emergency, it's an emergency. Well, that's the thing. If it's an emergency, they determine that right away and you go right to the hospital.
Right.
So everything in between, like playing in the next down or like emergency is kind of like, all right, man, like take a seat. Like, I don't know what are we gonna do? What do you want?
As soon as they diagnose this orbital fracture, you're done. That's it. Like at that moment, there would be no reason to put because he said, they could have brought me back. No, they not. They didn't bring you back in the game. Shoot, you talking about that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Why would they do that? Put you in harm's way.
That wouldn't be up to our group anyway. That'd be up to your physicians and whoever, not us. We can't determine that for you.
Absolutely.
We probably give them that information and they can determine that, but no one's going to sign off on that, especially in today's environment.
Apparently, their staff denied the ophthalmologist at first, and then that was kind of the miscommunication. They denied it at first. Raven staff said they didn't need it, and then that's what Burke Holder and Andy Reid said today at the press conference.
Okay, so he should apologize for that then.
Yeah, it's on his guys.
He gave our training staff an F.
Yeah, well, they that he was following what they've heard about our training staff before, right? He was like, I've heard this, that the reason, and I've experienced it. But I that's why I was saying he either had to hear from his staff saying, hey, look, man, they didn't give us what we wanted. Somebody had to put that in the ear. You could have felt that way yourself, but somebody could have put you at ease and saying like, well, now, there's nothing we can do. We can't have an ophthalmologist, and the ophthalmologist on the sideline. Now ortho was there. You got ortho. You got a what's the name? It's your general practitioner. You got all those guys. It's there, right? But as far as like specialists in particular things, no. And so I'm trying to think just who all was there on our that would show up on the sidelines. I think we had a dentist. Our dentist might be there sometimes. So yeah, I think he just didn't get tended to like he felt. That was it. But I'm glad Andy them said like we offered him an ophthalmologist, right? But that would require you, if I'm not mistaken, to go off site. You're going to the hospital, buddy.
I think I've seen some people in the chat say there was people in the stands, like there were specialists they had in the stands that weren't part of the that I guess weren't on call, but it took 12 minutes to get from the stands to the to back there. Yeah. Which Burke said they kept specialists on standby. They keep specialists on standby in the stands.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that because usually, like when we were doing it, it was something like if they needed to emergency, go to the hospital, right? Like why play around with it? Or if you had, like you said, if if they do have some specialists, I mean, it kind of makes sense. 12 minutes. You're gonna get a guy that stands. You go, hey. We need you. Come on. We'll call him up, so.
Yeah. And also, too, it's the Chiefs. So if this was like the Panthers or some other team, this wouldn't even be news. Van Noy wouldn't even be talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to get back to the betting aspect of things. So, JD, we kind of went over the bets from last week. Teja went 4 of 5. I went 3 of 5. Teja got, the Baltimore going away from the run game in the last drive of the game really hurt Teja at the end of that game for his bet. And then mine, Kelsey was getting rotated in and out, and Pacheco had a catch in the first drive of the game, and then he had one more catch the rest of the game. And, that did me in. But for the most part, 7 of 10 on the show last week. So 70% grade collectively if you did both our bets. Pretty good. I'll take it.
Pretty good, man. But it didn't bring home the bacon, though.
It did not. It did not.
That's what we need. That's what we need to do. In betting, you can't just be, well, I was close. It was a maybe. No, it's got to be right on point to bring that bread home. So
that's what you say. Stop the count in the second quarter of the game. Stop the count. And Rashee Rice hit his bet. Done. It's over. All right. So now we got week 2. We got the Bengals. Teja, take it away, brother.
Okay. do it. So let's start off with Gesicki over 10.5 yards. So we gave up more than this to both tight ends last week, likely and Andrews. And I think Gesicki can get this done with T. Higgins most likely out again. We've had our issues with tight ends. I just think he needs maybe one catch to get this, but, two will just be a shoo-in. Maybe probably just one. Gesicki's got a little wiggle to him, so you probably just get one and get over 10.5 yards. Moss over 5.5 receiving yards. So another position we have a tough time stopping in the air is running back. So Hill had 6 for 52 against us last week. And I actually looked up Chase. I also looked for Chase Brown's props as well. Didn't see them listed, but when they do list it, I'll probably take his also. I just think Moss needs to catch one measly pass in order to get 5.5. He caught 2 for 17 last week. And the last few games, the Bengals against us, running backs caught a combined 6 for 45, 6 for 49. That was P. Ryan. And 6 for 70 the time before that. So if they list Chase Brown, I'm taking that. And I'm taking Moss. I think they'll both catch 2 to 3 passes each. And they'll probably get in like the teens somewhere. But 5.5, very safe for Moss. So Mahomes over 235.5. Okay, so I know Brissett only had 121 against them last week, but they didn't need to throw. So Pats played it very conservative. They ran the ball 39 times. 39 times. We will not run the ball 39 times, but I think Patrick saw how much the Cincy DBs are talking, and I think he's going to want to get after him. And his last 4 games against the Bengals, he's only gone under this number once. So I think it's on his side here. I think with the total is what it is. I think it's like, 48, 49. It sounds like a pretty high scoring affair. Kelsey, 40 receiving yards. So I think the Bengals will try to limit our deep throws. I think they're going to play against our speed a little more and try to limit the big plays. They have to only worry about straight speed of Worthy, right? So, so I think we'll kill them on the underneath stuff. I think Kelsey's actually only hit this number against them once in his last 3 outings against the Bengals. So I don't know how much they're going to be zeroing in on him here. I think they're going to try to really take away Rice's yak and Worthy's downfield presence. I think we'll have Kelsey for some underneath chunk plays. So not a lot of stats to back it, but more of a hunch at this point. So I think Kelsey gets his 40. And then Pacheco, 60 rushing yards. So I recently mentioned how the Pats ran the ball 39 times against the Bengals last week. 25 of those carries went to Stevenson, who ran for 120 yards. I think Pacheco has a massive bounce back game after only running for 45 on 15 carries. And his long last week was 5 yards. So I think he at least doubles that long, gets some double-digit runs. I think he runs for, my guess is 70s and a TD.
Okay. I tell you what, man, this is a pretty. This looks like easy money. Looks like easy money for real. So bet 25 to win $133.75 on a $25 bet. So the Gesicki over 10.5 receiving yards, I think he'll do that. I think he had one catch last week, like you said, for like 17 yards or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gesicki's he's a receiving tight end. Okay.
He had 3 for 18.
Oh, 3 for 18. Okay. Yeah. 3 for 18. He'll have 10.5. I would think if you're doing your scouting report, you're looking like what the Chiefs might be, struggling with. They're going to try to use the matchup. Tight ends on our linebackers. I mean, it just makes sense. So why not?
Their other tight end had 2 for 18. So I think you might be able to take both tight ends if they list them.
Yeah. But Gesicki, he's their guy. That's what the reason they brought him in, because he is going to be that receiving tight end. So he'll definitely have a 10.5 over. Mahomes over 235.5 passing yards. I think he'll do that. I think what he'll do, because if they decide to drop the same 7 or 8 like they've been doing against Pat, hoping that they're going to come out on top of this. Pat's just going to dink and dunk on those guys. I think he's going to hit them in the windows and the holes. We got the guys that's going to be there. Rice does a great job ruling the middle. Travis Kelce also is going to have another big game, or against them. So I'm looking for him to have a big game. He had one last week. I think this week, let him shine a little bit. Get Worthy the football, and I think Juju comes in and makes a couple of catches. We said the other guys didn't really have any type of any looks. I think this week might be a little bit different, and so it is about passing lanes, and getting guys open. So I think he'll definitely throw for 235. Moss, another side, 5.5 receiving yards. We talked about him. He's a great pass catcher out of the backfield. They'll probably get him going. Probably doing the same thing, maybe some screen work, halfback angle, maybe some halfback outs, swing routes, same thing. Still match up with the linebackers, so he'll definitely do that. Pacheco, 60-plus rushing yards. Now, I think he'll get going. If we stick with our running game, and which I hope we will, it opens up everything else. So you can't drop guys back 7 or 8 in zone. You're just not going to be able to do it. If Pacheco starts running on them like I think he can, they'll get out of that quick. And then Pat's going to start eating them. He'll start eating their lunch. But Pacheco, 60-plus rushing yards, he's going to hit a few. He's going to be our most featured back. But I think some JP round probably eat into some of that too. I will give him a couple of looks. Carson Steele might get 1 or 2 here, but I do like the 60 yards for Pacheco. I think I said on the show, Marcus, that he was going to have at least 2 touchdowns. I think I have Pacheco's doing that.
Yeah, you have that really good game.
Yeah, I think Pacheco 1 touchdown's I think it's a great bet. I think he gets it.
Oh, yeah. Then Kelce, 40-plus receiving yards. So this is going to be his coming out party this year. Didn't get to do it against the Ravens. People are hating on him, saying he's slow, hating him for, I guess, his political stance and all those different things. And he's there for all of it. So he's going to go in with the muscle, showing everybody who he is. He don't care about what the people think about him. He's going to have over 40 yards on this one. So I think it's easy money. So
yeah, he's going to do it for and flex for Elon Musk and the yeah. Okay, so Teja, we have a very different sets of bets this week. So
did you, Margaret? I saw your face at one point. Did you? Were you in disbelief over the Kelce stat?
Well, it was incorrect. Your stat was wrong. Yeah, his last 4 games on against Cincinnati, 16.
I said 3.
Okay, it was over 40.
Yeah,
he's last 3 games against Cincinnati, 16, 78, 56. And you said he's only done it once.
Oh,
I included his playoff game too.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what it was.
78 was the playoff game.
Oh, okay. This was regular season games. Yeah, 16, 56, 25.
Yeah, because I use his stats to justify my my Kelce stat.
This baby been getting a lot of. She's been giving him a lot of love, man. So she's been giving a lot of recognition. He's got to shine a little bit this week.
Yeah.
So,
he's gonna come out hard for his girl this week. Okay, so. With my bet, so Chiefs -2.5. So the Chiefs were a 5-point favorite. I think we're back to a 6-point favorite. But just to be fun with this one, just to be safe, I took the Chiefs at an alt line of -2.5. Every game we've played with them, besides the game we played last year, where we won by 8, 17-25. Every game besides that has come down to a field goal. It's only been a 3-point spread every time. So 2 of our wins, the last 2 games against Cincinnati, which are the ones we've won the last year, New Year's Eve, where we won 25-17 against Browning. And then the playoff game before that, we won by a field goal. We won by 3. So I think we're going to blow them out, but at the very least, we'll win by a field goal in this game. So that's why I have us -2.5 in that. My next one is Pacheco, 80-plus yards rushing. So Pacheco's career game and his best game of his career was against Cincinnati last year, where he went 18 for 130. Most yards he's ever had in a game before was against Cincinnati. I think with what we saw last week, 25 carries for 120 yards for Ramondre Stevenson, I think we're seeing that. I think Pacheco's seeing that he can go off against his team. They're susceptible still. This is an interesting number stat I saw in last week's game against New England. They had 19 carries. 19 of Stevenson's 19 of his 25 carries went for 110 yards. 110 yards were on the outside run plays. So off tackle or on the outside on sweeps, pretty much everything where you're going for the DBs and stuff. That's where they were going. That's where they were targeting. So that amounted for on the outside tackle plays, 19 for 110 yards on the outside tackle. I think we're going to exploit that. I think Pacheco gets into the secondary. I think they're going to have a hard time stopping him, and that's what they did with the Patriots last week. So, so I think Pacheco's going to continue to eat against the Bengals run games of Teja. There he goes. Okay, so
I had to get out of here. No, I'm kidding.
It's all right. So next one, I have Kelsey, 50-plus receiving yards. Kelsey, 50-plus receiving yards. Last 4 games against Cincinnati, he's gone 3 for 4 on this. He's 75% on that. So 16 receiving yards the last time he played them in the New Year's Eve game. Then before that, playoff game, 78 yards, 56, and then 95. So I think over 50 yards, I think he's having a good game. Kind of what JD said. Talking about current events-wise, he's getting love in the media from his girl. You know, he's feeling good about himself. And also, too, you talk about the critic aspect of that as well. When you have people dogging him, saying, oh, yeah, Kelsey's he's not the guy anymore. He's being cycled out for Noah Gray and the other tight ends they have there. You know, they're load managing him, which he probably is getting load managed a little bit. But people are starting to say that Kelsey, we're starting to see the twilight of his career. And I think this is a game, this is a spot where he pops off. And, of course, this is against his team that he watched growing up in Cincinnati. You know, so this is going back. He's playing against his old College Towns team. So yeah, I think he's going to go hard, dominate this week. And then combined for the tight ends last week, Austin Hooper and Hunter Henry had a combined 49 yards receiving, so close to 50 yards. And Kelsey, you know, put those two together. Kelsey's better than both Austin Hooper and Hunter Henry together, so I think he'll do a little bit better than 50 yards receiving. Then this is an interesting one. So Jamar Chase under 80.5 yards receiving. He was complaining about not getting targets last week. And he may get the targets. Who knows? I mean, he had 6 for 60 something last week, but I was looking at his number. So the last time he went over this number was December 4th of last year. So it's been a while before, since he's gotten over 80.5 yards receiving. Last 5 games, before this, this one, he has gone, below 80.5 yards. In the 8 games without T. Higgins, because T. Higgins is probably not going to play, he's doubtful this weekend. In the 8 games without T. Higgins, he's averaged 74.5 yards receiving. So that's 8 games. And he only got that in the 8 games. He only did that 3 times where he got over 80.5 yards receiving. So 5
out of the 8, he only got over 83 times.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And this 74.5 is honestly bolstered by 2 games, because 2 of those games he had 142 and 159. So that 74.5 is really bolstered by those 2 games.
Yeah.
The average is below the 80.5 yards receiving. And then the last one is we're gonna stick with Rashee Rice. They keep giving us a line of 5.5 receptions. I'm gonna keep taking it. I think Rashee Rice will go over 5.5 catches. And if you look at his last 11 games, he's eclipsed 6 catches 9 times. In those 11 games, though, one of those games was against Cincinnati where he had 5 catches in that game. But I'm taking the odds here. 9 of 11, he's gone over 6 catches. So I think I'll stick with Rashee Rice to continue to eat in the middle of the field and, continue towards the trajectory of being a 100-plus catch guy on the season. And that's 25 smackaroos to win $375 on this 5-leg parlay. A little bit riskier than Teja's, but, let's have some fun.
I hear you. Okay. So I like the numbers with the Chiefs, obviously. I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to beat them handily in Arrowhead. So that's the easy one. The Pacheco, 80-plus rushing yards. Now, when you're dealing with New England, New England doesn't really have anybody that's going to be able to throw the football. They had to run the ball. I mean, who else you got? You got Jacoby Brissett throwing the ball back there. So it wasn't like he was going to light it up. But I think we do run Pacheco. I think Samjay comes in, maybe giving, like I said, Carson Steele maybe a couple carries. If he gets going early, I think they might try to shut that thing down. So I don't know. I'm almost convinced, Marcus, on this 80-plus rushing yards. At first, I wasn't. I really wasn't.
Do you think the off-tackle runs bodes well in his favor?
Yeah, it does. The thing is, we just don't run a lot of it.
It's true.
I mean, we got to think about, who we are and what our tendencies are. So that's the thing. Hopefully, if we are gashing them, then we do. If we're gashing them like we should, and he starts doing it early, then we'll stick with it. But I know we like doing what we like doing. Okay, and we like having fun, and we like pushing the ball down the field. We got these new weapons around there. We want to do that. But I do believe I'm gonna take over 80 on this. I like it. I'm gonna take over 80 on it. Hopefully they're listening to you, they're listening to me and everybody else out of here. Run Pacheco. Give him the football. You know me. I run the ball. Open up the pass. That's what you should do, right? Especially if you start getting in there like you are dropping 7 or 8. Let the offensive line just handle you. Okay, get to the second level and then let Pacheco do what he does best. Kelsey. Yeah, I see defensive Jenkins is out. He's out. Yeah, he's out. So, but he's interior guy. So, the off tackle, those guys, they got, what's that, Hendricks and those dudes out there. So if you got somebody, and you know what, Cincinnati's always kept defensive tackles. They always kept guys. So, but I still think he gets over 80. Kelsey, 50-plus receiving yards. I think he'll do that. I do like it. I think he'll have a good game. Like you said, all the things we were talking about before. I think he wants to show everybody, like, look, I'm not old. You hate on me all you want to about whatever. But he's gonna get out there, man. He's gonna get the crowd going. And we need for him to get everybody going, man. Seriously. If we start going to him early and often, it's gonna be a long game for him. They'll be ready to get on the bus soon. Chase under 80.5 receiving yards. Okay, this one I don't like. I don't like that one. A man is possessed. And if Higgins is out, and I know we looked at the numbers like you said, okay, what was it, like 2 out of the 9 or 8 you said? He had over...
Three out of the 8, he had over
3 out of 8, okay. He will be absolutely pissed if you don't get him the football. And they're going to try to get the ball to him as soon as, whatever they can. So let's just say we decide to have somebody over the top. We decide to bracket him everywhere he goes. He comes into the linebackers, tattooing, whatever. Jamar Chase is still going to try to tell Joe Burrow, I want you to feed me the football. Let me go up and just make a play. And so I think he believes he's the best wide receiver in the game. That's what he's looking to get paid for, right? So you don't ever ask a guy like that who's thinking he's the best receiver in the game, to tone down and not get over 80 yards. He's trying to get over. He's trying to torch our defense. He don't care if he gets double teamed or not. He doesn't. So I do believe he's going to have over 80 yards receiving. I do believe that. So I don't like that bet as much. Rice over 5.5 receptions. Yeah, sure. He'll have. Well, we talked about this last week. I was like, man, if Rice started, I said before we had, I think Teja said maybe 4 or something like that. I said, watch Rice had like 5 the first half. And it's exactly what happened. That was the trend. Said Hut, dart, Rice, right? Quick throw. I mean, it's easy. It's easy yards. It's easy yards, man. Can't stop that guy. So I think that's easy. I think that's easy right there. So that bet is $25 to win $375. I like it.
I think Rice gets 5 on the dot.
Yeah, I'm also surprised they kept it at 5.5. I thought it was going to go up to 6.5 catches this week. I thought that his prop was going to go up a little bit, but they kept it as it was last week.
He'll get 2 that's going to be a screen, and the other 4 he's going to be somewhere else. He'll probably a couple curls, maybe a shallow cross, and he might get 1 deep. So,
and I believe the playoff game when he went against him, he had a deep shot against them.
If you're the Bengals,
or no,
you're spending more time zeroing in on Rice than Kelsey.
You better. Yeah.
And I think the way we're going to play it this year is you're going to concentrate on one guy. We'll go to the other to make you think twice. And when you start concentrating on him, we'll go back to the other guy and make you think twice. I love Rice. and 5 catches for like 60 yards is still a pretty good game. I'm a little uneasy about 6.
I would, me defensively, what I would do, steal as much as you can. Try to, like you said, go back and forth with the guys, double them up, right? But I would single out on Worthy. I let the rookie beat you. If he's going to beat you, let him be the one to try to beat you. I would give it to my vet corners. Go against this rookie. You know, he's not that big. You know, you could talk confidence in these corners that, hey, man, you know, what he did the first week was a fluke. You know, he got a reverse and he got one deep because it was a blown coverage. Other than that, where did he show up? And so I know as a vet, I would challenge, you know, the rookie. That's the matchup you want. So
he went 5 for 127 the last time we played them. He had the long one. He had a 67-yard catch in that game.
Rice?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to be a monster. He's going to be a monster, man. I got him starting. I got him in my fantasy.
Me too.
Do you? Yeah. So I got him starting. I didn't start him last week.
He's my fantasy, but yeah, he's one of them.
Yeah.
I had Hollywood Brown too.
Oof. Yeah, me too.
Hollywood on strike.
I didn't pick up Hollywood. So
it was late.
It was late? Oh, okay.
I got him late, but I mean, it's gonna be real late. Now he's gonna be showing up late for me.
Cordell Robinson, if they keep feeding Rice on the slants, like Mr. Dunn has said, slant assassin.
Yeah. Slot assassin. He's a slot assassin, but he's a slant assassin too.
Yeah.
Slot and slant. You can use them both. So
all right. So JD, now you got to make up your mind.
So looking at both these bets, okay, I do like both of them. Teja's is a lot more conservative than yours, Marcus, and I like the $25 going for $375. I love it. It looks beautiful. Looks like good money, man. If you do that, man, it's shoot, you're gonna have a good day. But this week, I'm gonna have to go with Teja's more conservative bet because I do believe that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to come in here and they're going to be fired up. They're going to be ready. Listening to Jamar Chase speak, they don't want to put anything in the media. They don't want to talk about anything out here. They just want to go out there and they want to play. And they understand how important it is to deal with that right now. So, but I do like the conservative bet that Teja has. Gesicki, 10.5 receiving yards. Mahomes over 235. He'll do that. Moss, 5.5 receiving yards. Pacheco, 60-plus rushing yards. And Kelsey's 40-plus receiving yards. $25 to win, $133.75. This week's winner for me, if I'm going with a bet, I'm going to go with Teja. All right? Teja's is on this one.
Yeah.
So
Teja's exploiting the Chiefs' weaknesses with the going to the running backs on the reception.
I mean, yeah, hey, dude, yeah, okay. I like Chase. I like at face value, but dude, he was like coming off a limited offseason. They still gave him 8 targets. I think he gets like 11 or 12 targets this week. Even if it's not efficient, let's say he catches like 7 of those. He just needs like one like 20, 22-yarder to like make that 80 very, very easy to get.
I will say it was plus money for him to the 80.5 over 80.5 yards was plus money actually. So they don't expect that to happen. And honestly, you know, hearing him complain in the media about not getting targets, you would think naturally like the casual bettor would want to take that, right? To say, oh yeah, he's gonna get fed this week. I mean that's kind of where my logic is on this one. Probably not the smartest bet to go with on the 5, but I don't know. I want to see.
I think you'll be right around that.
Yeah, I want to see Chase get shut down. Maybe that's kind of why I bet it. You know, that's why I bet it. I want to see him get shut down. I also have
in fantasy, so if he could not score but catch a ton of passes, I'd be okay with that.
No, look at you. Look at you.
I'm trying to win it all, you know?
Yeah. I like what the chat said. Chase contract hold in. Jubal Ray says, Burrow aiming for him. No question about it. I think, look, this is a connection they've had since college. And he's just like, look, man, you know, if I get in the bind, I'm coming to you. Chase is like, absolutely.
And Chase hates us.
At 100%. 100%. So I do believe he'll have over the 80. Yeah, no doubt about it.
I hope it's not on a long catch because that probably means he scores a touchdown in that play. So I hope he earns it with like a 7-catch, like 85-yard day. That would be better for me.
Yeah, I think
Make
that's
him
what
earn it going down the field, not just like throwing, dimes on us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
So we got a question from Mike Brennan, JD. I know we're talking gambling, but what are the thoughts on our rookie left tackle versus Cincinnati's beast DN, Trey Hendrickson? That matchup is a keynote in my thinking. P. Ryan goes off. He's the better pass pro and screens.
I think it's going to be a big challenge, man, for King Suma. It's going to be a big challenge. It's not going to be easy for him. I would say, Hendrickson's one of the premier guys, one of the tougher defensive ends in the league, man. He's one of those guys you hate going against because he's coming every single play, every single game. And he's going to give you all type of stuff, man. He's going to try to wear King Suma out. So we need to give him some help. Those guys last week with the Ravens are good pass rushers, but Trey Hendrickson is a different guy. He's a different animal altogether, man. So
it's a good test for him.
It's a great test for him. We better give him some chips. We're gonna have to give him some help.
Do you think we come out of the gate with chips, or let him see how he does by himself for a little bit?
No, you got to chip him immediately.
Okay.
You got to take as much out of this guy as possible. You don't want him
to get going,
or even having any energy in the fourth quarter. You don't want that. So that's a guy like you got to hit every chance you get. And I'm talking about you see a little bit of rib, catch it. And you'll see some of the running backs you watch on Sunday. Chip, when you chip, you just running out and you kind of give it a little bit. If they miss him, they'll stay right there just to make sure they hit him just a little bit more. And I guarantee they're emphasizing that right now. We had to get him out of the game. We got to give Suma some help. And he may not even need it. But the thing is, we're going to give it to you anyway. So just be prepared for it. So every chance they get, watch Tooney come out there, give him a little hit too. On the side, he come on the inside, he gonna catch a little chicken wing. So that's the guy that you got to wear down. Okay, that's the guy you got to wear down. So his contract, he's looking for a contract
practice, so he might know where to get him.
Say it again.
So P. Ryan saw him a lot in practice for a few years, so he might know where to get him.
Oh yeah, no question. There was the other part that Mike said. He said something about P. Ryan.
Yeah, matchup is a keynote in my thinking. P. Ryan goes off. He's the better pass protector and screens.
I do believe they're going to utilize P. Ryan a lot. That's what, like the whole Pacheco 80 yards, P. Ryan's going to be in there for some of that, man. I do believe. Because this is Forte's. Forte's is a screen. We like throwing screens. He is a better, like you said, pass blocker. He'll do a great job in that regard. So I do believe P. Ryan he'll be cutting into maybe Pacheco and give him some runs too, man. He's gonna run hard. When a guy is angry and you pissed off, that's what ends up happening. When you break up with somebody, right? And you go out, you want to wear your best, you want to look, slick, you want to look cool, right? Look handsome or beautiful. You want to look like that when they see you out there, and they make them like, I remember that. I remember, yeah, that used to be mine. We used to be together. So people are like, oh, who was that? Like, yeah, that's that. Yeah, I used to date her or him, whoever it is. Yeah, that used to be mine. Really? Like, what you? Yeah. So we're gonna get the ball to P. Ryan. Okay, he's gonna be the one we're gonna doll up, make look good. Okay.
Yeah, he even said it this week. It's kind of weird for him to game plan against his old squad, but I mean, it's a business, so he knows.
It's a business.
On the right side of it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's part of it.
Yeah, and Andy will. I also think too. They didn't post his bets, but I probably would have taken P. Ryan if I saw over 1.5, over 2.5 catches. I probably would have taken that because I do think there is an element especially with Andy, where he tries to scheme up guys, especially when there's like these revenge games. But games against their old teams where they want to give them some touches against their old squads. I could see us scheming up stuff to get him more involved in the offense, especially against his old team.
Yeah.
There's a lot missing, actually, right? From betting wise, lines.
Yeah, I didn't see P. Ryan. I didn't see a lot of things. I didn't see Gray.
I figured the Bengals was due to Higgins
Higgins
still being, but he's doubtful. I mean, unless miracle happening, I don't see why they would do that.
Yeah, he was downgraded today.
So yeah, I'm sure when he's officially just out, they'll add a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have Chase Brown on there. I noticed that. I was like, that's weird. They have Moss though, so
yeah.
Hey, look, after San Fran did that with
yeah.
CMC, I'm not putting it past anybody. He ain't gonna play. He's doubtful. He ain't gonna play. He's all right. And the next thing, like I said, he's gonna see him go run and get some goal routes. Okay.
And what's crazy is the equivalent of that would be if we were almost going to play Hollywood Brown last week, and then all of a sudden a week later, okay, he's going to IR now. It's like the guy might go on IR now. He's reported like an hour ago they might put him on IR. So it's like, wait, what? So I mean, how do you almost go from playing that a late scratch Friday or late scratch Monday, but you knew he was out Friday? That means they knew it all along. He's been out. They knew he was going to be out for all along.
Well, it's playing the game. Go ahead, Tej.
I was going to say they might put him on IR now. How much you want to bet? That's probably announced after the game, and it's retroactive to before the game. One of those situations.
What do you mean?
They I don't know what the rules are as far as like announcing that to the league or announcing that to like the press, but I think they can put him on IR and not announce it until after the game. So we don't hear about it until after the game, but it's retroactive to before the game. I mean, look, if they can say he's not out for the game, or say he's out for the game on Friday, but then he's not playing on Sunday or what? I guess Monday. Then
it would actually be in our advantage if we go ahead and put him on IR now.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So if he's doing that, plus it'll move somebody up. Get somebody up there. And you're talking about so Higgins to me, like for them, it's just a chess match. Because we still have to prepare like he's going to play until we know otherwise. Other than that, man, they just playing games at this moment. And I don't trust them. Look, I've been in meetings. They like, look, we know he's going to play. You say he's doubtful. There's plenty of guys we done held out. We did that. We did the same thing. You don't play like that. Look, I was a few games like didn't know if I was going to play or not because I was hurting so bad. My back was so bad. I was just like, man, JD going. I'm like, shh. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. And then, out there. Yeah. So.
Yeah, seeing a comment here, former Bills All-Pro safety Dante Whitner on Up and Adams' show said the Bengals trash talking is a sign they're not confident and they are headed to 2-0 or 0-2.
I can see it. I mean, I really have been checking. I haven't really heard a lot of trash talking anyway this week. So
the only thing was the cornerback, Taylor Britt.
Yeah,
kind of ironic because Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes are in the news right now. But Taylor Britt, the cornerback for Cincinnati, said that well, he was dogging Xavier Worthy. He said Xavier Worthy can only run straight line.
Oh yeah.
So that's also another spot right there. You can see Xavier Worthy. Andy want to make a point about that. Give us some Xavier Worthy some work to try to show him up a little bit. So,
well, I mean, shoot, he ain't totally wrong. I wouldn't say that's he runs fast, straightforward. He does, and he's gonna burn you. Then get out of you. You better get out of your back pedal quick.
Yeah.
So you say that, and you know it. Then you better get out of your back pedal. Start hauling immediately.
Yeah. And if that's all you can do, then why don't you go chase him down, Taylor Britt?
Yeah, it sounds like your job would be pretty easy then.
Yeah.
It's also you just named like one of the main qualifications to be a professional NFL receiver. Oh, he's really fast, straight. Oh man, gosh.
Yeah. Like yes, he is. Yeah.
Who knew? Who
right.
knew? Yeah. I wonder. Yeah. Did you pick that up from his fast 40 time that he ran straight line? I mean,
right.
Was he supposed to run diagonals? Well, I don't understand it. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, you say it is not a flex. It's not it's not just him at all. Like, yeah, he is. Yeah. What are you going? I would have been like reported. Like, what are you gonna do? He runs a 4 too fast. Yeah, straight ahead. What are you gonna do?
You have to do that to be a good deep threat in the NFL. Run straight, fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good observation, man.
Right.
You're a smart one.
All right, guys. Well, that does it for us. That for maybe you guys who are first timers with the betting show. So generally, so JD, so I'm not going to high school football games anymore. I just kept with the 7:00 thing because that's what we did last year. If you want to do 7:00, I'm okay with you. Want to do 8:00? I'm okay with. I mean, all our shows are 8:00. So
look. 7's good with me. I could go to some high school football games.
Okay.
Yeah, I could go do it. I'll go check some of my.
Yeah, whatever you guys want to do. I can go.
I know we're all different time. Well, me and JD on the same time zone. I mean, you're on a different time zone, Teja.
I mean, 8 might be better, but whatever you guys want to do, I can make either one work.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk. Okay, and we'll make a decision. All right.
Let's get a vote on the chat. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well, we want to include them too, right? We want to include y'all. Yeah. So what do y'all think out here? Okay. Chief Concerns family, right? What would y'all prefer to see us? What time? All right. We'll see what they say.
Yeah. What time for the betting show would you guys prefer? 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday? I know all other shows are Monday, Wednesday at 8. I mean, it would make sense to go uniform. I mean, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about all the shows at 8:00.
Yeah. But
and the thing is, with this show, we could come through here and get through it. It wouldn't usually take like an hour and 11 and stuff like that.
No. This show's usually about 30 to 40 minutes. That's usually what it is. So
yeah. So we can still do. If you still want to do 8:00, let's do 8. I'm good with that.
Let's do it.
Which y'all said, have no life. Whatever works for you guys. Yeah, you do, Witchy. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So I'm glad that you spending your time in life with us. We appreciate you.
We do appreciate it.
Yeah, coming and showing up. And all of y'all, Kathy Welch and Mike Brennan, Jubal Ray. And I heard Newt's been out here chirping. What's up, Newt? What's going on? Stats, he talking about everybody. I just,
Stats, size.
Money.
So I'm saying LRZ a few times, a bunch of emojis, LRZ some other times too.
Yeah.
He can't get over it. He can't get over LRZ, man.
He just said, look, Taylor Swift, we're a mashup of politics, pop music, football. Jason, I need to be on political shows, stuff like that. Newt, man, how you doing, brother? We're going to give you a hug, man. What's going down? Good to see you. Good to hear from you, all right? You always keep the chat buzzing, brother. We love it. Love it. Always good seeing you. Don't think we don't appreciate you because we do. We do. So
it's facts.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, so Sunday after the game, so 4:25 start time, Chiefs Bengals 4:25, and then we'll be on Bleacher Report post game show. And if you guys can't make the Bleacher Report post game show after the game, this will be on our YouTube channel afterwards. But so around 7:30 ish. Bleacher Report. We'll have a link on the YouTube page as well as on our Twitter account. So 7:30-ish post-game show with us three on Bleacher Report. Love you, everybody. Hope everyone has a good weekend.
Love y'all. Good seeing y'all. Gary Holland and everybody. Kathy Welch. I know I don't get to say what's up to everybody. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know who y'all are. Love you guys. Love you dudes out here. Dash brothers. Love y'all brothers. Okay?
Love you, brother.
Y'all take care, man. We'll see y'all. Yeah, Sunday after the win, after the dub, man, we're getting back at it. So
2-0.
Yes, sir. So,
all right, take it easy, everybody. I hope everyone enjoys their weekend. We'll see you guys Sunday night. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.